Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Balancing It All podcast with Dr. Kim Sheppard. Today is a dropped podcast without all the fancy stuff in it because I have been slacking on recording. So I don't have time to get this to my publisher. So there's not going to be a crazy intro. I'll just kind of talk you through the intro. So today we are going to talk about the 5 things that may be stalling your weight loss goals. And so we want to go into just some simple things that you can do, or maybe you aren't doing or paying attention to kind of push your weight loss goals ahead. So whether you are whatever type of program you're doing, whatever type of journey you're on, today we are going to talk about some things that you can do at home to add to your current program and help you boost your weight loss goals. So let's get going. Okay, so the first number one, they're in no particular order, but they all could be number one. But the first thing that we need to be doing when we're on any kind of weight loss journey, and I'm speaking particularly to people that are over 35. So if you're 20, 25, you're trying to lose weight, you can probably do whatever you want and you're going to drop a few pounds. When we hit that 35, we're kind of either, just had finished having babies or kind of in the midst of having babies, our metabolism is changing, everything's changing. And if we don't do things strategically, we are not going to lose weight in the manner that we did in our 20s. So the first thing you are not doing that's going to help stall your weight loss goals is you are not sleeping enough. And I know that sounds crazy, but you need to be sleeping minimum 7 to 8 hours a night. And so when we talk about sleep, it is so important for our body to rest and recover at night. That's kind of where we do our synthesis of our muscles and we really help to build and grow all of our, we shouldn't be digesting a lot of foods. We need to be resting and recovering. And so as we get older, we tend to be really busy and we tend to get home late. And one of the first things we sacrifice is sleep. And I know those of you with young kids also, if you're nursing or you're up a lot at night, you're sacrificing sleep also, but you could probably get away with it more so than someone in their 30s or 40s. And we have to be really, really strategic about our sleep and really make it a priority in our life, or it's so easy to just doom scroll at night or end up just sitting in front of the television and watching a lot of TV and it's 10:30, 11:30 and you're still not asleep. um, I struggle with sleep. And so I understand if you have trouble falling asleep or you've got issues with, just winding down at night or your brain won't shut down. We can do a whole nother podcast episode on sleep if you want more information on those sort of things. But what I need you to do for now is to really, really, really make it a priority to be in bed 7 to 8 hours before you need to get up, preferably 8, 8.5, because my personal schedule is I'd like to be in bed by 9 or 9:30 because it's going to take me a half hour or so to wind down. I like to read a book before I go to bed, no blue light screens. But those of you who are staying up late and are just not getting that good 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body will not lose weight. And so that is something that, I firsthand experienced. And so I'm really, really like, I love to sleep. It is my jam. I love bed. I love, I don't really get to sit down much during the day. So when it's time for sleep, I am ready. I'm excited. I'm ready to go to bed. But it is hard to go to bed or think about going to bed around 9 or 9:30 because you want to stay up and you want to watch your show or, in our house right now, there's football on, 4 or 5 days a week and there's still games going on till 10 or 10:30. But you have to make it a priority to get to bed sooner. And, depending on what your schedule looks like when you need to get up, I get up in the morning, I'm working out in the morning, I'm up by 5:30 or 6. So I have to reverse engineer those 8, 8.5 hours before that so that I can really get a good night's sleep. And so If you're really honest with yourself about how much true sleep you're getting, if you find yourself like watching shows at night or, oh, just one more episode, I guarantee you're not, getting enough rest that your body needs to recover to then allow your weight loss journey to continue. So, number one is sleep because it really, really, really is so important. So, number two is that you are not focusing on protein. As we age, we have a harder time building muscle. And so, most women that I know come into my challenge program not eating enough protein. That's the one thing I see in my office. That's the one thing I see in my challenge program. You're not eating enough protein. And if you're not logging your protein, you don't know how much protein you are eating. It is really easy to think you're getting enough, and most of you are falling really short around 60 grams of protein a day. And, a rule of thumb, they usually say zero point 0.8 to 1 pound is where you kind of want to have your protein. So say you weigh 130 pounds, you need to have between 130 grams of protein. Now, if you are a woman that's 200, 220 pounds, you probably don't need that much protein. So what I like to do is kind of, to make it easy, kind of aim your goal weight at what your protein level should be. So if you're someone that's, where protein is going to be hard, 180, 190, 200 pounds, but say you want to weigh 150, 160, aim for that much protein. But a lot of you are struggling so much that you are not even getting 100 grams of protein a day. You will never get lean and build muscle on less than 100 grams of protein a day. Every single one of us, no matter what your age is. So if you are not getting 100 grams of protein a day, you can start there and build your way up from the 100 grams of protein. A lot of you kind of struggle to get your protein in. You don't want to eat all that kind of meat, all those animal products. I understand. I understand that. But there are ways to get enough protein into your diet so that you can, kind of get it quickly, hit your numbers, and not feel like you're eating like steak for 3 meals a day. And we can do another podcast on that. So a lot of you are making the mistake, number one, not getting enough protein and not tracking your protein. So if you are not tracking anything right now, I suggest just track your protein. Just see, kind of what your protein numbers are, what you're getting. If you're not sure, if you're like looking at a chicken breast or, ground beef or something, usually those are on the package. That you just weigh your protein and you can see what 4 ounces of cooked ground turkey is like. You can look that up. You can Google it. You can pull up something free like MyFitnessPal and log it that way, or you can just log it on a piece of paper. Just to kind of see where your baseline is at, to know where you need to go from there. But most of you are falling short. And if we don't have enough protein is so satiating. It just keeps you full. And most of you who crave sweets all the time, you actually have a protein deficiency. It's not a willpower issue. It's a protein deficiency. You're not getting enough protein, so you're not satiated. And then, we can go on this insulin roller coaster and really struggle that way. So if you want to kind of calm your hunger monster down, calm your sweet tooth down, make sure you're getting more protein. Okay. Number 3 is you are not lifting weights. And I talk about this a lot on my story. Weight training when you're over 35 is so important because we do lose muscle mass. And it's one of those things where if you're not using it, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose that muscle mass. Why is muscle mass important? Because it helps you burn more calories. The more lean tissue you have, the more calories you burn. So you're able to eat more because you have muscle burns fat. Muscle burns carbs. Muscle is it's our fuel. And so if you are under eating, if you're not getting enough protein, you are going to catabolize your muscle because you're just almost wasting away. Most of us are undernourished. You could be overfed and undernourished. So that means you could be eating too much, but still undernourished, not getting enough, protein, but also not moving your body enough. You need to be strength training 3 days a week, minimum. Hands down, I don't care who you are. 3 days a week, minimum. I love 4, 5 is even better. But 3 days a week minimum, you need to be doing some kind of weight training, lifting heavy weights. And I'm not talking 5 pounds. Like we need to lift. You need to be where, you've got some 20s, some 15s, 25s. Those sort of weights are what you need to be lifting, where you're breaking down that muscle so we can build muscle. And if you're not feeling sore, if you're not feeling like you're getting a good workout, then you're just doing the same old. Then you're probably not doing enough and you're not lifting heavy enough weights. For a lot of you, like things like Pilates and yoga is not weightlifting. That is, that's a great active recovery, but it is not something that is going to put that muscle mass on your body so that we can prevent osteoporosis later on, have great lean muscle mass, feel good, feel lean. And so, if you're struggling with where to even start on weight training, you don't have a program, we include all of that in my 6-week challenge. And so you get access to videos and guided workouts, and you get all of this when you work with me. But, we want to make sure that you are doing some sort of weight training 3 days a week. So number 4, another thing that's preventing you from losing weight is your stress level. I can speak to this like so much because this has really been a struggle for me. I keep saying we'll do a whole podcast on it because I want to dive deeper into these subjects. So when our cortisol levels are dysregulated, when we are stressed, our body stays in fight or flight mode. Our nervous system stays in sympathetic. It thinks our body is being chased by a bear. And so this shuts down a lot of other processes. We are not going to lose weight when we are stressed, when our body is dysregulated. And so it's super, super important that we learn ways to deal with our stress. You will not hear me say, have less stress, because I think that just makes me so angry when people are like, well, just, manage your stress, just, get rid of stress. Like, how do you get rid of stress when you're a busy mom, you're working, I'm a business owner, there's going to be stress, but we have to be more stress resilient and stress adaptive. And, I talk about this a lot on our Align Family Wellness podcast, but we can actually measure how stressed your nervous system is. We can also check your cortisol levels, but we really need to address ways to manage your stress and to learn how to adapt to stress better. And those are things that I teach you in my challenge, but I also, will do a whole podcast on things that we can do to keep our stress under control. I do have a podcast on nervous system dysregulation. So a lot of my tips are going to be in that podcast. So go back and listen to that one. That was really good. But we have to work on nurturing ourselves and giving ourselves time to rest and recover. So that goes with sleep. When we're stressed, we're not sleeping good. So we also need to make sure we are sleeping as part of our stress resiliency, but we need to be doing things like cutting our social media time. We need to be taking, walks every day. We need to be, just kind of decompressing, taking hot baths, reading books, doing things that are low stress on our system, setting boundaries on our phone, setting boundaries on our work. With phones and computers, you're reachable 24 hours a day. If that is not part of your job, if you're not a nurse that's on call, we need to set boundaries for after 6 p.m., you cannot reach me. You cannot get a hold of me. Those are things that kind of create stress in our lives. A lot of it is our mindset and how we think about things and how we think about stressful situations, and being able to kind of spin that so we're not so stressed, and we can think about our stress differently and kind of have that mental resilience. So stress is super important, and I'm going to be talking a lot about stress because I've been through it, y'all. I have been through it. I've been there. I'm still working on ways to make myself more stress resilient and, kind of help my nervous system out a little bit more. And the last thing we're going to talk about today is you're not moving your body enough. You sit too much. So I am such a huge proponent of getting your steps in every day. Like everybody should be hitting 10,000 steps. Most of my patients will come to me and talk to me, and they're, like desk workers, they're getting 4,000 steps a day. It's not enough, guys. It's called NEAT exercise, NEAT. It's non-exercise activity that creates this thermogenesis in our body. So what I've learned over the past year is you can burn a lot of calories by just moving your body more and not sitting as much. That can look like taking a walk before work, taking a walk at lunchtime, taking the steps at work, parking further away, getting up and moving around your house, laundry, chores, going up and down your stairs. All of this stuff is that neat exercise that helps to burn calories. And it's so important. We are so sedentary that if you are someone who sits at a desk all day, it is imperative that you move your body more. You have to get up and find ways in your day to get some, activity. And it's not hard. You just have to kind of think outside the box. Like I said, whether it's, you take a trip to the bathroom, you hit the stairway, you go up 2 or 3 flights of stairs multiple times. Okay, you're gone for max 5-10 minutes. Like you can be away from your desk that much. You do that 2 or 3 times a day. Take 3 10-minute walks. That's something super easy you can do if you're pushed for time. It also helps stabilize your glucose levels if you are walking after your meals. So if you're just doing 10-minute walks after you eat, that, your steps will add up with what you do during the day. It's really not difficult to get 10,000 steps a day, but you do have to put effort into it. It's something that we have to try. And that's 7 days a week. That is on the weekends. This weekend I've really been trying to rest my body, but I got my walk in. I may have to walk after dinner to get my steps in, but it's not a power walk. It's nothing to get you sweaty, just something to move your body and get those steps in. So to recap, we're going to go over 5 things you can do to help if you are in a weight loss plateau, or you want to just kind of up your habits so that you can lose weight easier. So you need to sleep more. You need to be eating minimum 100 grams of protein a day. You need to be lifting weights 3 times a week. You need to manage your stress levels, not get rid of your stress, but manage your stress levels. And you need to be getting 10,000 steps a day. If you guys do all of those things for the next 6 months, you will be unrecognizable in 6 months. I promise you. These are game changers. They're small things you can do, but they are game changers in your overall weight loss journey. If you need help, if you are stuck and you don't know what to do, we do have a 6-week challenge that goes through everything as far as, kind of tracking your macros, doing workouts, just kind of learning about nutrition, learning about sleep and stress management. So you can check the link below in the podcast for our next 6-week challenge when that's going to start. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I would love to, give you more information or talk more if there are different topics you want me to dive deep into. So be on the lookout for more podcasts on sleep and stress and protein. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you guys liked it. Please share with a friend if you thought this was valuable information, and I'll talk to you guys next time.